What is going on, everybody? Hope you're doing well. Um, I'm meh. I don't feel well. I hope I'm not getting sick. It's been a lot of days in the past week or so out in the cold, and it's just terrible. You ever had one of those times when you get cold and then you just like no matter what you do, you can't get warm. That's where we're at tonight. So, and as you can hear from the voice, we're a little stuffy. But enough about me and my whining. How are all of you doing? Um, let's see what we got here. Yeah, it's good enough. So, we are on the eve of chapter 3, a big update that's going to make some pretty drastic changes to the way we do things. I personally think they're going to be good. Um, Take a little while to get used to it, figure out what's going to happen, but um, change is always a good thing. You get stuck in your ways, you get used to things the way they're, happening. It's good to spice things up a little bit. So, anyway, a couple things that we're going to do tonight. I'm going to talk about some of the changes and how I'm going to approach it. Um, and, hopefully give you some advice if you have questions about how you're going to do it as well. Um, there's a couple last minute tasks that we want to get done, and it's cats, dude. I'm home alone, so it's just me and the animals right now. Good God. Hey, that one's close, man. Look at that. I don't need it, but let's go take a look. Where's this sucker dropping in at? Cats, calm down. That is close. Guys. One thing I want to say about this game is very cinematic. They did they did beautiful on this. So, yeah, some things are a little weird, like the worm animation. It's kind of strange, but when he's breaching, it's awesome. Some of the landscapes and the views, give him credit on that one. But okay, so we got a couple changes here that I want to go over as I'm scanning through them. Well, let's talk about this since we're looking at it, right? So, one thing I didn't like, and this is one of the parts of Dune Awakening that I do really like, is the base building, kind of expressing yourself and trying new things, seeing what you could do and what you like, what you dislike. I really liked the raised platforms for my ornithopters, but it didn't work all that well. I kept scratching the paint and hitting them, and after a while, I was like, nah. So we ended up putting the recessed one here. I guess it's doing its thing. We got our boxes there and everything. But one thing I did not like was my upper hanger where I keep the carryall. Dog's like, I've had enough of this crap already. It was really big. The base looked a little weird. Um, you know, so we had to make some changes. So I did do some changes upstairs, and it worked out really well. Problem then was I didn't have a place to put. So I've got the assault thopter there. I've got the scout thopter here, and these are both resource gatherings. And then I do have a scout thopter for going fang out, and it used to be upstairs and doesn't fit up there anymore. So I had to find a new place. So we built this. I was thinking about putting more chests in here, but I really don't need them. But yeah, we got her up there, and we changed the color scheme so that fix your wing. Come on, fix your wing. I don't use it that often, so it's okay to sit up there and kind of be, thank you, a kind of a centerpiece and all. But and yeah, like I was saying, I was going to put more boxes, but I don't really need them. But this works out really well. It's not interfering so much with the way I run around. I'm just going to have to get used to it. But we put that there, and the end result was we made some really cool changes up here that I'm quite thrilled about. So number one, made it much smaller. It is still huge, but we did squeeze it in there, and I've got enough room for the storage container and the carry-all itself. I guess I should say carrier. I'm a lore guy. I have my sand crawler and the buggy that I use out in the deep desert broken down, and they're inside of here. So I guess technically we've got everything we could possibly need except an ornithopter in our pocket. But yes, we made this smaller, and so far so good. Put some big old doors on these sides because we added an extra wind trap, and we made the other side look exactly the same. I used to have this guy sitting here, over here in the corner, which I didn't like, but it was, it used to sit like over here, I think. Or no, it was actually right there. But we moved it up here. I got the three, got nice little pillars, some overhangs. It's actually pretty cool. And like I said, this hangar was so big and bulky, it looked it just got annoying looking at it on top of the base. So we cut out the flooring, made this much smaller. That let us finish our roof, actually, because it was right on the edge of the our sub-beef, even with the staking units. But I kept those things just because I wanted to. And oh, I hurt myself. Why did I hurt myself? Well, that's almost broken. But yeah, so that actually looks pretty neat. Before we run off and look at it from the outside, I'm actually going to go fix that suspensor belt, because if I don't do it now, I'll forget about it, then it's going to break and bad things will happen. So yeah, look at this. Haha. Nice. Let's go ahead and repair that bad boy up. Welding torch, sure, why not, right? I'll do everything. Everything, well, to a point. So, we shall get out here. And we'll go take a look at what it looks like on the outside. So that I like so much better. This used to actually be bigger than the lower hangar, and it just kind of had a weird look to it. It still does, especially since I knew what it looked like before, but this is a lot better, at least in my opinion, and it's my base, so that's the only opinion that really matters. We did change the front here, and instead of having a big old mess that I had before, we did the double towers. I was thinking about putting the turrets that we got from that event, little tiny baby turrets up there. We did a nice little archway here too, so fancy stuff. But you know what? Yeah, I was just sitting here and I was flying in one day and I was like, oh my god, I hate that thing so much. It's still rather large, and I know that I don't have to have like the wings can be sticking out and it's not going to damage it. I just don't like that. I just don't like it when the wings are sticking out. Sometimes you embrace your OCDs and your ADHDs, right? But yeah, I like this a lot better. I think it's got a nice cleaner look. Starting chapter 3 with a much happier base. Some people do not like the pentashields. I like them just because, they allow you to pass through and they protect stuff. But no. Not sure about this yet, and I'm not sure if I want to keep it that far out on each side, but we'll see. Added some banners. Everything's awesome, right? Everything's cool when you're part of a team. So there we are. Boy, this ornithopter is beat up. Look at her. Oh my gosh. At least she got a full tank of gas. See if I if I ever run out of gas in this thing, the insurance company's going to consider it totaled. let's fix that up right now. You guys will get a little bit of a sneak peek here. One of the things I was talking about, I do have a video in progress going with repairing or replacing something. And it's funny because equipment, I didn't really showcase it when I went down there, but when you replace a piece of equipment, it's going to cost some of the materials that it takes to make it from scratch. So if you have something that, let's say, just to throw stuff out there, let's say it requires water, everything does, um, silicone blocks, cobalt paste, some plastinium nuggets, and some spice melange. In order to repair it once it gets damaged, it's going to take little bits of each one of those. Um, and it depends on how damaged it is, how much you're going to actually repair it. So you do have to wager, is it worth putting some of those materials into this item, or just should I just throw it out, hit it in the recycler, and make a brand new one? And that is totally out the window as far as vehicles go, because you don't have to use the items that went into making a vehicle part in order to repair it. You just use welding wire, which comes from salvaged metal. So I tend to run this equipment until it is almost gone. As you can see here, we're a third down on this one, and we're even more here, just barely over half. My basic rule on this, when I look at whether or not I want to replace something, once I get to the 50% mark, like it's half of its repairable life, that's when I start taking things into consideration. And as far as vehicles go, I will run this thing for a long time yet. Especially just like flying back and forth around Haga, or going to Arakeen, or doing whatever. Even going to the deep desert if I'm staying in like the PvE sections. In the event that I'm going to where I could potentially engage other players, I don't want to have any damage or any of the red on any of the pieces of equipment. The way I explain that is, when you go head to head against another player, whoever's equipment fails them first, whether that's vehicles, whether that's armor, whether that's weapons, whatever, whoever's equipment fails them first is the one that loses. So don't go in with half beat up equipment. Don't do half the work for your opponent by making yourself weakened. So if we were going to put ourselves in harm's way, this would not suffice. I don't consider NPCs that same way. And let me give you something real quick. If you look, let's do it this way. So this is my runabout this area ornithopter, right? Okay, so I've got this scan module that's at 40%. I gotta say, this thing, I don't know what's going on. I think it's broken, because I got this months ago. I didn't even make it. I found it in a box. It was already like half damaged out in the deep desert. I was like, oh, scan module. I don't have one of them because I needed it. So I just slapped it on there, repaired it with the welding torch, and this thing is just lasting forever. I mean, I've gone through other sets of wings already, and I don't know. I don't know if it's glitched, broken, or if that's actually how it is. But whatever. Um, Things like your cockpit, your hull, your chassis, and your storage boxes, they don't normally break. Your storage boxes can take some damage, but the rest of this stuff, the body, it's usually pretty safe from damage. In the regular PvE world, players can target anything, so there you go. And if you ever lose the chassis, you're done. You have to build a new one, take it apart, and put this together with that. As you can see here, I didn't fix my wings on the other side yet, so they'll go back up to 76%. But the main things, at least with ornithopters, are your wings, your engine, and your generator. Those are the stuff that you have to fix. But I will run this. This is great. I don't have a problem with this at all. Some people don't like that, especially when the repair glitch was in full swing. What's up, Chopper? Um, people could repair glitch and get rid of all that red and just make their equipment last forever. I never did that, but somebody commented on it. They were like, "Oh my gosh, why are you flying around with so much red?" And, oh yeah, I'll run them into the ground. Um, but this is my PVE ornithopter. So let's take a look at Redbird sitting up here. And we'll take a look at how she's doing, right? This is I've got the rocket launcher pod, so we're going to be dealing with other players, bad guys with this. So when you look at what kind of shape this thing's in, you'll see a huge difference. She is virtually brand new. This is not because I don't use it. I don't use it much, but I have used it, and I did get wings down to around 75, 70%. So I replaced them. Because I'm not going to help my opponent in that way. I'd rather spend the materials to make new wings and get them down that far. What I'll do then is once these things start to break and they get down to around 70%, they come off, and these will then go on the other Thopter to replace them if need be, if I have anything broken. So this engine, this generator, they will eventually be in that, and I'll switch them out that way. That's how I get the most use that I possibly can. But yeah, as far as vehicles go, that's how I tend to operate. Hello. I see somebody. With this my assault thopter, and I would not really want to take this into combat. The numbers are high, but even though it's a little stronger, I'm more on speed and agility than I am on tanking damage. But I could take this into combat. We could swap everything out for rocket launchers, which I have made and sitting ready if I need to, and we could go. But I would much prefer Redbird for that kind of thing. But we're gonna fix this up and rock and roll. But also with a new chapter and potentially new things coming, maybe I'll accelerate that concept. We could take these off, trash them, put them in the recycler, break them down, and take these wings off, put them on, etc., etc. But yeah, I will run vehicles into the ground as far as durability goes. Oh, 4 people in your seats? Yeah. The real test is hit your enter key, right? Go to your Haga Basin. And let's see if anybody responds. When's the last time you saw Haga chat? I have to see. A lot of people coming back, trying to make sure everything's ready to go for these potential changes in Chapter 3. I think it's been 2 or 3 weeks since I saw somebody made a I don't want to get political, but they made a big base up here in the hillside and put Minnesota on the outside of it. So that was the last person I saw, and I couldn't tell you when I saw somebody before that. But anywho, so yes, we talked about some of the changes we made to the base, which is cool. So what's up next? Well, I have been finally paying attention to this, and I have made a ton of this stuff, so I shouldn't have to make this quite a long time. I think it's funny that I'm almost full as far as the capacity of the box, and I'm not even half, really. Well, I'm very close to half. So we made a whole bunch of What? What's the matter? What's the matter? You think a boy though? They'll be back soon. Sorry, puppy. Puppy needs something. Okay. But yeah, so we're almost full on that. Tonight, we are going to have to go get some of this because I've only got a little bit. Although, wait, I think I made a bunch. I think that was the last thing I did. 170 is not a bunch. It's not anything to laugh about. But I need some more of that, so we're going to go get a bunch of that tonight. 269, 68. Well, that's pretty good, though. Oh, my goodness. Buddy, you can't do this. I'm playing, and the people are watching. Don't hit the computer, bud. Hey, we'll come up here. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. He can't do it, actually. He used to be able to do it. As he's gotten older, he can't do it. You want me to help you get you up there? Oh my gosh. We are both getting too old for this, buddy. Hold on a second, folks. You want to come up here? That's my chair. Are you going to play? You know what? I'm going to give it to you, man. That was clever. That was clever. He's got joint problems because he's like 15. He's 14 something. He'll be 15 years old this year. So he's got himself some joint problems. The bed back here is a little too high for him to make that jump. But you know what? You figured it out. So kudos to you. Can they see you? Dude, you're showing your butt. That's it. Hey. Hey. Yeah, you lay down. All right. Sorry, folks. Oh, but yeah. So I guess we'll go get some of that. Before we go running away, we're really great on silicone blocks. Didn't need too many of those. We are really good on cobalt paste, and we did a lot of work on bringing dead guys in here. Do I still have some? No. Let's go get some. What I basically want to do is I want to make sure that if I have to build something right away, that I've got a ridiculous amount of materials and resources to do it. So when I see something, if they say, oh, you need to build this, okay, click the button and go. So if you look like, if you feel like you're a little short on a material, now is the time to get that stuff made. I made some plastanium. We will stick that in the buggy. This box, completely full. Hoorah. This box is not completely full, but we're going to put some more into it. Shoop. This box has a placeholder, almost 500. This one has 300 and some. So I've got a ton of plastanium. I was reluctant to build a bunch of this because I thought to myself, you know what? If they're going to have like a tier 7 material or something, what I don't want to happen is like, you come over here and you look at this. I still, I got a bunch of steel. I don't even know what the heck to use this on. There's a couple of machines that happen, but I'm building stuff out in the deep desert. I tear it apart. I get all those points back. Same thing with aluminum and with duraluminum. So these numbers aren't changing. Oh my gosh. Can't believe I showed everybody that. Oh. And I've got some down in the monastery base too. So, but I want to make sure. Oh, like I was saying with this, I don't really use duraluminum anymore. What I do use is just building out in the deep desert and stuff. So I didn't want to make a ton of plastanium and then have it just, we're going to do that for a second. I didn't want to have it sit in these boxes like these things are because I don't need and or use them anymore. I did toy with the idea of making so much that it was completely full, but just not that dedicated to that concept. I used to have a bunch of copper and got rid of it because it was a Landsrad task. So you want to run around and you want to make sure that anything that you feel personally like, man, I don't have a whole lot of this. Go get it now. I don't like having new content drop and then be stalled because I wasn't prepared. If it's time gated by the creators and the devs, nothing I can do about that. Play the game. I mean, they made it, so I have to do what they say. But yeah, I don't want to be stalled by a lack of preparation. So we have made, I think, all of the plastanium I can make here. I might be able to make some down in the monastery base. Let's go find out. That will work well with our need for some irradiated slag. Yep. Ugh. It's so much better. I know eventually I'll hate this too, but right now we're doing good. There's that spice. Whoop. So we'll head out to the monastery. We'll get machines going if we need to. And then it's irradiated slag time. Somebody mentioned that when they come down here and do this run, that they also make a quick pit stop here with they make a quick pit stop over here and take out some of these Harkonnen guys. What is it? Thermocoolers, I think, is what you get from them. But honestly, my interest in these dingleberries is I have one of the few achievements that I have not finished yet is to take out bad guys in my opposing house. I believe I've got to kill 500 of them, and I couldn't tell you how many I've done. I wish the tracking was on there. Like, you could go there and it would be like, kill 500, and you could take a look at it and be like, oh, I've killed 312 out of the 500. So it's just kind of blindly doing what we're doing, but I guess. So, let's not... Easy, big guy. House representative. I don't think this guy has anything for me, but let's take a look. Why is there shooting? There shouldn't be shooting going on. Oh, dumbass stood in the fire. Done that. Okay. Thank you. Did that once when I was in the menu. Oh, look, I have a reward.
House Waitress would never besmirch our impeccable reputation by failing to give proper recompense.
Thank you. Some Solari. I mean, it's money. Okay, so why is there shooting going on? Let's get a bird's eye view of this. Oh, we're gonna fall off. Okay, well, the biggin's right there. He ain't too upset. So I wonder if they just had a little guy that got in the way. How funny is it that I was just oh my gosh, come on, man. Okay, there we go. So I was just commenting on the fact that I very rarely ever climb mountains, and here I am. Alright, so something's going on over there. Let's see. We can see what we can see. It's two guys made out of sand fighting each other. Can't render them. They aren't acting like, well, I mean, the guy with the rifle is obviously an NPC. I think the other ones are too. So we may have just had some desert dwellers who snuck in there. But I'll tell you what we're going to do. Because we're going to get involved in this. I'm going to poison this guy. Or I'm going to miss. I'll just miss. Why not, right? Now his shield's up. And he's running away. That guy's got his shield up. And this guy ran away. How did I miss? Alright, so, since we're terrible at what we do, I think this guy just dropped his shield, didn't he? He never had one. Maybe he does, I don't know. Alright, so Biggins went in there. So that's where we're going to go. I remember the first time I got involved in this place, I was not prepared for what was going on. Somebody threw a grenade at me. Military power regulators. I am so sorry. So there's the special room. But like I said, I want to kill people. I don't think I'm allowed to say that on YouTube without... Oh, I guess I did poison him. Or he killed himself with his own grenade. I love it when they do that. It's just hilarious. Let's go out and see what these guys are doing. Now here's what's funny. If I walk over there, like, dude, me and dude have the same cloak on, like. Hey, what's going on, dude? Good job. Hey, dude, what the hell? Like, I didn't want to do this. Come on. I'm gonna say you need to fall down because it's gonna take a long time. Where did they come from? And why are they so mad at me? I didn't... Anywho. Alright, so we did this, we did that. I don't really need the power regulators, but I do. It is me. 'Tis I. There's a bunch of you. Oh my gosh, I screwed that one up. Oh. She is angry. She's also dead. Oh, Lancer had task. Gotta start using skills. Yay. There should be at least one more up here, right? And there you are. You're just gonna get up and keep shooting. I mean, We'll go ahead and pick that up. Like I said, we got to fill that chest somehow. We might have to drop her, though. Let's see what we got in the old constellation chest. Don't really need a 5, but it'll be okay. Kind of a shame their Atreides were down here duking it out, because at least one of them that I would have liked to have killed and got the points for didn't happen. Alright, well, we're not even here for this, but we made 10,000 Solari we didn't know we needed, and there we go. And we're gonna put a gross ass Harkonnen. Wow, what's up, Worm? What's up, dude? But yeah, we'll put a gross ass Harkonnen in our reserves, and away we go. Alright, so we're gonna do some radiation fun right now, which means we got changed clothes. Boop. Okay, well, I'm actually gonna... Yeah, can I do this, please? Why can't I put this on? Normally I just do that and it changes. Wow, I'm pale. Holy cow. I'm so pale. I can't put a radiation suit on, guys. I also can't take this stuff off. Okay, I guess I can. No, I got gloves and boots on still. What are we doing here? Alright, well, I guess we aren't doing the radiation runs today because... Oh, I know why. Because I got too much crap on me. Okay, I'm stupid. So, what happens there is, if you notice, I am completely full. So when I put this on, it's trying to drop all these items in. I didn't realize I was that full. So, we will drop some items over here. Quick, what's filling me up so much? That's definitely not. Why do I have so much money? Okay, well, we just needed actually the slots. And now we got our radiation suit on. And it would be helpful if I wasn't half dumb. I actually want to have more than just a single slot available. So we are going to, well, we'll drop that when we get inside and that. Let's just go ahead. We'll just bring a bunch of crap over. No more bodies for us today. Thank you for letting me kill you guys. Oh my gosh, can we stop with the scary music? I get it. I know what's happening. Not the one I thought I was running towards, but that's okay. I think these are deserters, so they don't count as They don't count as Harkonnen even though they're dressed like them. What are they doing? Why are you like this? Okay. Anywho. Might as well grab the Solari, why not? This time we will not stand in fire because we're learning. It's okay to make mistakes, you just gotta learn from them. Not gonna lie, kind of scared me. Definitely scared me. Skittish, zoom, and boom. I was gonna take everything because I'm all concerned now. Alright. Do a quick deposit and just blade parts. It hurts leaving a body laying there. Easy. Alright, so we're not going to go into the big ship right now. We are going to head on over. And we'll do the quick run around on the outside ships, because I've already got a little bit of radiation on me. I don't need to be getting killed. Definitely got to be careful, though. Uh-oh. People. That will be quite a change, will it not? We have people running around who can't just lazily do what we're supposed to be doing. Or what we've been doing. Boop. Oh, come on. Boop. This is dangerous because you poison yourself and you do run the risk of getting stuck in there. 101. I did take off the poison resistance. Should have put it back on when I was changing my skills. So another thing that I'm very bad at is customizing me to the action that I'm about to take. Like I said there, I should have put the poison stuff, or poison resistance, or the lack of being able to, you know what I mean. I have skills that keep me from getting poisoned, and they just aren't equipped. Tick, 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 tick. Alright. I mean, we got to step in a little bit of fire, don't we? Well, we're up to 50 irradiated slag. I'm not going to complain about that. So, is this the one? Yeah, like I was just in there. But as you can see, Shoal does show that it's 100% complete, so I don't know. We're gonna play it a little bit safe. I'm gonna get out of the danger zone here. And let our radiation level calm down a little bit. And there it goes. Because that's how life works, right? Man, we're going to come in as a bat out of hell. Hi, kitty. Did anybody else deal with this? Or am I just the lucky boy? Ooh, don't want to get stuck there. Come on. Hi. What's the matter? Oh, you're Oliver. Holy crap. Hi. So this, you guys have seen Pickle all over the place. Hey, come here, dude. And he's gone. That is his brother, Oliver, who is not the friendliest of cats. Like, he's friendly, but on his own terms. Not the button I wanted to hit. There we go. We are full up again, and it's kind of dangerous to be in your menu in this place. Wrong button. So we just got this one left, and this one's not in the radiation zone, so we'll be alright there. Let's get here quick, and then we'll head over to the monastery. We'll see if there's any plastanium and such to pick up. Now, since we're out of the radiation, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to put on our big boy pants. They're all spread out now, though. It's terrible. Literally did not put the pants on. Okay. I am wearing a helmet. You just can't seize it. Me. Oh, that's not where I wanted to be. Oh my god. Come on, man. There we go. You are so dead. Come over here, big boy. I was trying to dash backwards behind this. Did not work. If there's anybody in the seats here, that would have been the time to attack me. Okay. Gotcha. Alright, let's get in here and do what we gotta do, and then we'll head over. Click. Kadoosh. Pick you up. Ah. Crazy, scary stuff happening. I have not been jumped here, so... Not saying that it can't happen or that it won't, but it hasn't happened to me yet. I don't hide my siege or my my world server or anything, so guess if somebody really wanted to hunt me down, ooh, a taro cutter ray, I'll take that, right? And a depth drill shot, I'll be all right without that. Okay. 72 irradiated slag from this run. That is awesome. And away we go. Still haven't met these guys. Buggy's still in there? Yep. I mean, somebody's powering their bases. That's kind of funny because I don't think... I mean, I've never met them. They never met me. I wonder if they say the same thing. Yeah. Okay, we are going to have a bit of a problem because we are chocked full on inventory stuff. We do have some titanium. Sorry, wrong button. We have no strontium masses, and we have no fiber. So, and this is just general stuff. Alright, so we're pretty much set as far as... without having to go get more stuff. What we could do if we were really pressed for plastanium, we could just cross into the world map, go drop all this stuff off or leave it here, and we can go into the deep desert, mine some strontium, bring it back here. It's not really that devastating. There should be nothing in the machine. There isn't. And let's see what we got in here. Completely full of duraluminum. And a whole bunch of that. So, plastanium's the only thing that we could technically even need, but we're good. So, that's awesome. We're just going to head back and take our gross Harkonnen dead body and our irradiated site. Oh, before we go, let's talk about... In my description, I had mentioned that there were some upgrades that we need to do. And one of them, this bad boy right here. The reason I say we need to do an upgrade on this is my jasmium base. And I've kind of thought about this for a while now. So as you can see, it's a Mark 6 cutter array on a Mark 4 buggy. You can do that. You don't have to match the external stuff. You can put bigger things on chassis, etc. But it's all going to have to match up here. But this stuff doesn't have to. Okay, so when I first made my sand bike, I promptly lost it. It was not my fault. I drove over to the Vermilius Gap and put down a fief and was making a new base. And then I drove back and started transporting all the stuff I had in my Haga base and South base to bring it over because that's how I roll. I can't just leave things behind. So I did that, filled up the bike, drove, and deposited. On my return trip, I got halfway between the Vermilius Gap and Haggis South. Let's get away from this. Do, 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 do. So my base was originally right here, and my original Haga base was this rock. So I was making that trip, brought the first load over, was coming back, and right here, coming down this slope, my game locked. And I couldn't do anything. All I did, I couldn't get off the bike. I couldn't change a view. I couldn't open up inventories or anything. So I was freaking out. And of course, the worm was already getting summoned. And he came and he ate me. And then I went into that little, spoiler alert, the little dreaming thing where you get to talk to the guy. I couldn't move in still. And I was like, okay, well, that's great. What is going on here? So I had to exit, log back in. And when I logged back in, I was standing over here in my underwear. Bike was gone. Everything that I had on it was gone. And all I had was Shai-Hulud's tooth. And that actually was, I mean, it's funny. Yep, it was a risky move, and I did pay the price for it. It sucked because I was not prepared to fight the guys in the gap here in my underwear with a Shai-Hulud tooth, and transitioning the base, losing so many things. It was a bit of a struggle. It was that point where the guys that are the Chom mercenaries flying around in the ships, I thought they were Sardaukar, but they're not. But yeah, they're Chom mercenaries. Those guys would just beat the living crap out of me. It was terrible. Luckily, there is a testing station right here. I could go in there and kind of work my way through. This was actually a good place to be screwed at because that testing station has a lot of stuff in it. But it did take a little while to get back. But yeah, I promptly lost my bike. I made it, and then I drove there, and I drove back, drove there, and then died. So it was the same day I made it too. Um, Jump ahead to my first ornithopter. Uh, I landed after having it for 2 days. I landed on a ship, and I got stuck inside it. Like, I don't know if you guys ever saw that or if you had that where you would offload onto it and it would put you down inside of it, and then you're just sitting there bouncing around. Yeah, worm ate that one too. So I lost that. But this is my buggy that I had from like the early days, I believe. This one was the one before the Mark V and then the Mark VI that I'm running right now. I just personally don't like getting rid of something if it's still useful. And I was thinking about whether or not I wanted to upgrade this, but I'm like, well, I don't really do a lot of duraluminum anymore. I do some. Most of the time when I do that, I sell it on the market. But you know what? Being a Mark IV was going to be okay. It didn't matter. I didn't use it enough to warrant tearing this thing apart and making a brand new Mark VI buggy just to sit down here and barely get used. And that is logical thinking, and I can understand why I thought that way. But to be honest with you, I can make better equipment. I can make a better cutter array even than this Mark VI. I can make the focused one. So when I do go out there and get Jasmium, I can get a ton more. I can put a bigger storage on here, like the bigger boot, so that I can hold more. So when I go out and make trips, I can gather more. It'll be faster so I can get around. I'm basically, just because I don't do it very often, I am inhibiting what I can do. I've got enough resources, I've got enough materials to be okay. So I was thinking about completely replacing this. And I'm going to make this a Mark 6. Not tonight. I want to make sure that the changes coming with Chapter 3, which is, tomorrow, uh, I'm sitting on plenty of resources. Making another Mark 6 buggy would take a lot of those resources. Not all of them, but it would take a lot of them. And I want to make sure I don't need them. Once I know that I don't need all that stuff, this this buggy is going to. I'm not going to let the desert take it. Um, I will break it down, take it back to main base, stick it in a recycler. I don't believe I have a recycler here. I know I have a repair station. I don't know crap. I don't have a repair station here. I thought there was one that was sitting right there. I should have a repair station. That is not how you make a repair station. But like I was saying, I totally have a repair station here. Um, but I don't have a recycler. So what we'll do is we'll just pack that buggy up. We'll take it back, and I'm gonna replace it with the bigger boot, the focus cutter array, all the fancy equipment I have. Um, when I first made that stuff, I was very like when you first make a Mark 6, be careful with it because she's brand new and like, oh my gosh, anything you make, be careful with it. But once you can make the next level of things, I would suggest you get right into it and do it because once you do, that's just going to make you go faster. You're going to be able to do more, bring back more, quantities will be more, speed is more, you're going to save time. Um, for the longest time, I flew around in a Mark 5 ornithopter when I had a Mark 6 because I didn't want to tear it apart. And there's no telling how much time I wasted in a slower transitioning speed. So once you are able to make the next better version, do it. Do it right away. And I would keep your previous version until you make that next step. Like let's say you make a Mark 4 ornithopter, right? Scout. Then you can make the Mark 5. Keep the Mark 4, stick it off somewhere. If you break it down, who cares? Whatever. Put it in a box. Keep that because if something happens to your Mark 5, at least you got one that'll get you back up in the air. You weren't going to be totally screwed. Once you can make a Mark 6, get rid of the Mark 4. Throw it away, recycle it, trash it. I don't care what you do. Get rid of that. There's still some justification to hold on to that Mark 5. But eventually you're going to get to the point where you can make another Mark 6. Make another Mark 6, throw the Mark 5 in the trash. That's my advice to you. If you can go faster, go faster. If you can hold more, hold more. If you can mine more, mine more. Always push for the upgrades. It's just gonna make your experience better. So that's my advice. I have not used the wisdom button in quite a long time. Apparently, I've not been very wise lately. But I'm going to take my own advice and sorry, but everything but the cutter array, we're going to be breaking it down. But like I said, I'm not going to do it tonight. Not going to do it the night before we're getting ready to transition to a new chapter. So everything in there is good. Again, because I can't make decisions. While we're here, we're just gonna come over here and hit the button. Make sure everything is okay. So I got 25 days. It's fine. We'll refuel generators. I don't think it's even gonna matter. I don't know how. Oh, it's the door closing. I don't know how much stuff I have. Everything's fine. We should probably go on the roof just to see what actually everything being fine actually is. we need to, I can bring back some items and materials. This should be great. Yeah, knew that would be. This one is at 80%. That's a good number. This one is at 59, so yeah, it's a little low, and I don't think I have any of these down here. That's why we made a ton. Should probably bring a ton. But it can hold for almost a month. So while we're floating endlessly across the sands with our ill-gotten irradiated slag, there's another piece of advice that I will give you as we're getting ready to go into Chapter 3. And to be honest, this is a good piece of advice in and of its own. Even if Chapter 3 wasn't happening, this is a good piece of advice. Join a guild. Join a guild. If you're a solo player like I am, you tend to not want to do that. Look at all the spice laying around. There's like 3 blooms. You tend to want to be by yourself. And there's multiple reasons that you do that. For me, some of them are good reasons, some of them are bad. Good reasons. I want to do what I want to do. There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with wanting to do what I want to do. And while playing with somebody else, like if I had a buddy on here, I'd be like, hey, what do you want to do? Oh, I want to go do this. He'd be like, oh, I already have a bunch of that. I don't need to do that. Well, I don't care. I'm not trying to be a douchebag, but I need or want to do this, so that's what I'm going to do. So it gives me the freedom to just operate however I see fit, which is super cool. Another reason that we don't, I'm going to leave those in there, but we'll dump everything else into the dump box. I just put my, oh, okay, that's fine. That was a crappy. Anybody need a taro cutter array? I don't know what stage you're at in life, but anybody needs one, I got one. I don't need it. Another reason why I'll play solo is I am a man of great patience. And if somebody doesn't know how to do something in a game or even in regular life, I have no problem, and if I know how, I have no problem sharing that knowledge. And I also realize that everybody has a different learning speed. When you watch my content, I don't get super awesome, like deep down basic, but I do cover some things that would be considered just common knowledge because some of it's not so common. I made a whole video about a route collecting items that I do, and I never knew there was a bounty on this one spot. So it can affect everybody. And you can't always assume that something is actually common knowledge. A great example was back in December when they had a free trial. There was a guy. Yes, they are. There was a guy who was playing with the free trial, and he asked for help with the testing station. I was like, sure, and I'll go in, and we're playing, and I noticed that he never activated his shield. And I took it as, okay, he doesn't have one yet, that's where he's at. And we were playing, and, we're doing a little station thing. It was number 10 or something. It wasn't a hard one. But it's a hard one, for him because, his gear wasn't beyond it like mine was. And I kind of did cycle back, I was like, all right, I'm going to let you, kill a couple guys, and I'm not going to help with that dude. That's your guy. And we went through it, and when we were done, I was like, "Do you not have a Holtzman shield yet?" He's like, "Yeah, I totally have one. It just never turns on." And I was like, "Hit H." So he hit H. Shield came on. He's like, "Oh my god!" It never occurred to me. It never occurred to me when I first got one. I didn't know how to turn it on either. I thought it was going to turn on whenever bad stuff was happening, and the reason they don't let it turn on is because you get out there in the sands and turn that thing on, a worm's coming. So, yes, it has to be a toggle. Sometimes if you're wearing one, you have your shield on, you get into your thopter. When you get out, sometimes you still have it. But making the assumption that everybody knows everything uh, is wrong, and it's a bad idea. I like sharing my knowledge. I like helping people, and I I am known for being very patient. You should talk to my clanmates from Destiny about what I can do and how long I'll dedicate to helping someone. But I do reach my limits. There are limits, and sometimes I just want to get on here and relax, and I don't want to go do something crazy, and I don't want to do anything. So if I don't have any friends, no one's depending on me, and I have the freedom to just go do dumb stuff and meaningless stuff. So it's kind of an antisocial concept there. And another reason is because playing solo, I don't let anybody down. Um, I have gotten into PvP fights. I have gotten into aerial combat fights. And there's a part of me that if my guild was like, "Hey guys, we're going to go out and hit big spice fields," and I wasn't operating the carryall or I wasn't the crawler, I'd be on Overwatch. And there's a part of me that's concerned. Am I going to be able to keep my friends safe? Am I going to see the bad guy, kill them, and lead us, or be there as we achieve victory and keep everybody safe? And what happens if I don't? Um, you know, and that's actually a very common thing. A lot of people that, uh, again, I'm referencing it. You'd think I'd actually still like the game, which I don't. But playing Destiny, I used to do the raids all the time, and I would teach raids and guide people through raids. And that was the most common reason that players gave me for why they hadn't done it yet, because they didn't know enough about it, and they didn't want to be that guy. No one wants to be that guy, the one that screws up, the one that doesn't do their job because they didn't know it was part of their job. They don't want to let the team down and waste everybody's time because they don't know what they're doing. And you're never going to learn what you're doing if you don't go and do it. Um, People always used to say, "Watch videos," and here I am. I'm a content creator. I don't know everything, and I make videos to help you. If watching one of my videos means you can do it, no, it doesn't. It'll give you an idea and it'll show you what to do, and I do my best to convey that. But I mean, if I watch the Super Bowl, does that mean I can go out and play in the NFL? No. I, getting your boots on the ground, getting involved, getting in there and actually doing it's the only way. So if somebody were to ask me, how do you do a testing station out in the deep desert? You join a guild. Um, how do you harvest spice in the deep desert and not get ganked? You join a guild. Um, Rely on your friends. Make friends. And you'll probably be surprised. I've been in two different guilds. The first one, everybody went to a different server, so I stayed behind, and then I joined up with a group that's currently active on my own server right now. And I mean, to be honest, they haven't required anything from me. Um, Somebody asked, this was just last night, I was just messing around. I was doing the changes to the base, and um, one guy was like, "Hey, does anybody have this stuff?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got some of that stuff. Here you go." And he was like, "Oh, what do you want from it?" I was like, "I don't want anything. You can have it. Doesn't matter to me." Um, But in the event that, let's say, somebody asked, "Hey, can we go do this?" I'll be like, "Sure, I'll help." And then someday when I say, "Hey, can we go do this?" there'll be people to help me out too. Um, don't hold yourself back, and keep this in mind. If you join a guild and they are douchebags, or maybe they're really nice and you're the douchebag, if it doesn't fit, just say, "Hey guys, I'm gonna roll." What's the worst that could happen? What literally is the worst that could happen? I mean, if you really have to, you can leave the guild, delete friend requests, block people if you really have to, but I don't believe it's going to get that crazy. But what's the worst that could happen? If it doesn't work out or you don't like them, just leave. Don't just like peace out and just one day you're gone. I mean, at least be like, "Hey guys, this isn't working out for me. I'm gonna jump out." And if somebody's like, "Oh no, stay," no, bye, and then just go find another group. Um, but the reason I'm saying join a guild is because with this chapter coming up with the new thing. Now, first off, being in a guild is what gives me access to all this fun stuff. Um, and all these things that I didn't do very much this time because it was just the very ending of it. I didn't see too many things and didn't get quite as much playtime as I wanted. But having access to all this and the gear that I have is because I was in a group and we did this stuff. And although they're changing the Lands Red, there's still an incredible amount of value of having friends to play with. Yes, you can do all these little tasks and the contracts and things like that solo. It'll take you longer. If you need help, you're going to have to find out on your own. And if it's an incredibly difficult task, you may spend an hour or two trying to do it and failing. Whereas if you had a guild to rely on and had some buddies or some friends, jump in there and knock that crap out. Um, I can do the deep desert testing stations by myself. It'll take me a while, but I can do them myself, and I've done them myself. And I've done them with other players in a fraction of the time. And just being able to run around a pillar and not have four people shooting at you. Only two of them are, and one of them, once you start stabbing them, they don't shoot you anymore. So you got one guy shooting at you. Your shield can take that. It just you get through things so quick. It's so awesome. Um, but yeah, I know I'm babbling, but one of the things that's happening with chapter 3 is they're going to be doing these specializations. And I asked my guys, I was like, "Hey, do we have a plan for this? Like, is the guild doing a set thing, or is it just whatever we want to do?" And my guys here they're pretty lax, and you know we aren't like super serious tournament level ready to go esports, but they were like, "No, we really aren't doing a plan. Just do whatever you want, and we'll all work together," which is awesome. The reason I asked that was because some of the more active guilds are going to have one player who's going to focus all their efforts into crafting so they can craft all the materials for everybody in the guild, to get the bonuses for it and to be able to make the better gear, which is going to help them out, and etc. Um, but all who is this person and why are they flying that way? Is it just a rendering issue? Maybe. Um, if we were super serious for that, then we could be jumping in that way. But I think honestly, personally, that's a little dangerous because that's how you burn through content. But anyway, do I know everything that I'm going to do? I have a plan. It's a very loose plan. It's the concepts of a plan. Um, have their alt be the crafter. It's possible. Yeah. I mean, some people would just rather craft things. They prefer not to fight. If you're not going to fight, what do? You farm and you make stuff. Um, there are some groups that I'm sure are assigning that. People are taking their specific roles. Like, I really love fighting and I'm good at it, so that's what I'll do. And I'm going to focus straight up on combat. That way, other people can make stuff for them while they're doing their thing. Everybody wins, everybody's happy. So, whether you're that advanced or not, that's up to you, and whether you care, up to you. But it doesn't take away from the fact that it is just very beneficial for you and the other people involved to do this as part of a team. Remember the song, everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of a team, right? Lego movie. It's kind of creepy that a guy in his 50s is quoting a Lego movie, but hey, whatever. Find a guild, branch out. It does make the game better. And there are times when I'm absolutely doing nothing and somebody will be like, oh, hey, can somebody help me with this? I'll be like, sure. And now I'm going and doing something. It's a win. We've been on for an hour and a half already. Time flies. Mrs. Rabbit's supposed to be bringing me food. Normally I'll have her watch snippets. Like I'll keep track of fun moments, but um, she doesn't just generally watch it. And my sons do. They better not rat me out, but she wanted to go get something to eat, just fast food, nothing extensive. She was like, are you streaming tonight? I was like, yes, I am. It's Monday. And she was like, oh, I wanted to go get food. But she went with my other son, with my son. I have two. One of them's not here. Uh, and I said, well, where? She said, do you want me to bring you something? I was like, I guess. Where are you going? And she's like, I don't even know. Man, did I dodge that bullet, right? Right, guys? The what do you want? I don't know. I didn't have to suggest anything. I didn't have to get shot down with every suggestion I've ever made. What do you want? Oh, I don't care. I'm up for anything. Oh, yeah. You want to go get Burger King? Ew, no. You want to get Taco Bell? Oh, I just had that. Oh, But yeah, I was able to dodge that bullet. But I still don't know what she's bringing. We'll have to see. Uh, but yeah, he's back here snoring. I can hear him. So anyway, um, let me talk a little bit about what my plan is as far as specialization and doing lands rat stuff. My specialization, I am not going to focus on combat solely. Um, I have seen a lot, I've watched a lot of other content creators, people who are more in the know than I am. It seems to be very common that everybody wants to start off by spending their points in the sabotage tree, which is at the bottom, because I think it's the third unlock is purse strings, which means you get more or a chance of getting more what are called scripts. I'm not going to give that away, but you have a chance of getting more of those, and you need them. The more you have, the better off you're going to be. So it's a quick level up and where everybody seems to go. So I'm going to follow suit since so many people are saying it. Either they're all getting their same information from each other and no one realizes that, or they're right. Um, so that's what my main focus is going to be, is to put my points into sabotage until I loosen up the purse strings. And then from then on, I'm going to do a mix of combat and I want to look at the actual trees for exploration, which was surprising because I thought that one was going to be the last thing I ever did, and also for crafting. Um, I like to farm stuff. I like to gather things. So if I can make that better, that's going to be awesome. Um, but that's the route that I'm going to be going. We'll get our sabotage up, and I want to. I'm going to have to take a look because I'm sure they're going to change it. I mean, I noticed in the listings, like some of them were tax evasion, where you got a reduction of your taxes. It's not going to matter anymore. Um, So they're going to have to do some maneuvering and some changing on stuff. So I don't want to create a plan that potentially is not going to be applicable once the game updates. But I want to kind of basically get about level 10 and then make a decision. Do I want to continue on the path I'm on, or do I want to upgrade the other one to level 10 as well? And just keep making that decision back and forth. That's not necessarily a hard number. We may do 5, we may do 20, but I'm going to bounce in the definitely between combat and exploration and crafting. Uh, I think the exploration tab may not be as worth it as I think it is, so crafting and combat is where we're going to go. At least that's what I'm doing from here on out. Uh, Apparently, it takes a long time to max out a skill. One of those skill trees, there's I think 100 levels, and that is because you can only, it is time gated. You can only do so many per day. Um, so it's going to take a long time to max out even one single tree, and there's 5 of them. So we're going to do that. As far as Landsrad stuff goes, I am definitely going to be knocking out as many Landsrad tasks as I possibly can. That's how you get some scripts and stuff. So, you know, there's other items that you have to get from that. It's why they're opening it up to everybody and going away from this where you have to deliver Dew Reapers, you know. I thought about whether or not I wanted to participate in this. I did, like, if whatever I was doing, like you saw me killing those Harkos somewhere. I got some points for somebody. Eventually we'll come across it. There's something. Kill Harkonnen troops. So I got 343 points. Yay. But I really didn't go after anything, mainly because I've got all the stuff that I have and or want. And I know that they're changing this where you don't have to, in order to get a swatch, you can just buy it now. There's going to be a vendor that you can just buy it from. So we did definitely kind of phase back from it. Where is my base? My base is right here, right on the edge of the Eastern Shield Wall and Misa Terrell. Very close to Odom, so I can kill as many Masquerade as I possibly can. That's why I chose it. That, and also it's one of the few level spots with level sand that you can build on, and you don't have to worry about worms coming and getting you. They have run in this area here, and I have seen them. I've never seen them over there, but yeah, we can jump down here. Oh God, I can run all the way out here, and we don't have worm sign for anything. I even dropped a thumper here one time just to see if it would potentially aggro one of these guys. Did not. They did not care. I don't know how far out here. I think I can go out to there before I get some aggro. Definitely getting some heat stroke. Have I fitted it for the box? No. Pretty sure that we should start seeing worm sign once we get out towards these. Yep, there we go. Now we got some. So I am about 550 meters from my base before, well, about 500 meters before we start having issues. shut off? Yeah, it just shuts off when the stamina goes. Okay. Never used it that long. I'm not sure what you mean by the box, Dennis. I'm curious how high level characters points translate to those trees. Same thing. I think, what is it, K? I still got 60 points that I haven't spread out in stuff, and I'm going to keep that. I want to see what happens with that. They aren't the same points, if I'm not mistaken, but we'll see. So you sit in the deep desert. One thing that scares me about that, Jiggy, is this. I'm not going to say it on that one. I think it's for the sand crawler treads, and it states on there that the worm eventually will come. No fly zone and a no build zone. Hello.
I stunk up my car for you.
Why?
Because it's chicken nuggets and I don't like the way they smell. They stink.
You don't like chicken nuggets? How can you not like chicken nuggets?
Because McDonald's is vile.
You went to McDonald's?
No, I went to Wayback. You got McDonald's. Love you. The burger wouldn't transfer that far, so I had to get you nuts.
How do you know it wouldn't transfer?
Because we've done it before, dumb fuck.
You said bad words. Yeah, you just slink away. Did you hear that, guys? Did you hear what that? Call 911. Call somebody. No. I don't know.
Nuggets back. No, I'm kidding. Oh god, they smell terrible. How do you make that?
I love you too. But no, Mrs. Rabbit does not mess around. No, not at all. Yeah, no, not at all. But she got me nuggies. So a no-fly zone around Mesa Terrell. Yeah. Yep. She don't play, guys. That was her being friendly, by the way. You should see when I pull a poopy and actually make her mad. There are some things that I've done years ago that I guarantee you. Oh, we got a storm. If I brought it up, it would still be a slight issue. And run through it to farm it instead of just landing Ornies and farm. I wish. I wish. I hadn't heard about a no-fly zone or a no-build zone. Boy, I hope it doesn't cause me a problem. If it does, I'm hoping that we can maybe, since this is a very level base, we can microsize it, move it over here, or move it over that way if we have to. If not, we'll move it up on the shield wall. There's a couple places. Apparently, that cat would like to come inside. This will be Pickle, by the way. Hi. Can I help you? Oh, you want to go? Come on. You go outside? Go ahead. Mom will take care of you. There we go. Ouch. I mean, I do have some options. I did scout other places. It is a very flat-based base, so if I have to move, I can, but I hadn't heard anything about requiring me to move, but we'll see. I mean, the third to see it's on the forums and developer interviews. There's actually, since it's not coming with chapter 3, like Jiggy's saying there, we got time. It could very well just. I'm not proud of this, but yeah, this base could piss me off, and I'd just be like, I'm done. Crash, destroy it, go someplace else. Eventually, my war against the Muscreet may end. We may find peace. Hi, hey, that's not yours. Those are not your nuggies. Those are mine. So yeah, maybe someday this war will find its end, and we can find peace together. It is unlikely, but if it is, and we do end the fighting, then I'm not against moving to another spot. We'll have to see. So they don't want us landing ornithopters here. Which keeps the materials rare. If they want to keep the materials rare, I will farm living crap out of it and sell it dirt cheap on the market. Don't play with me, Funcom. You don't get to determine what's rare and what's not. I got a lot of hours in this game, and I got a lot of spare time. I don't sleep well. Dude, stay away from my nuggets. I'm not kidding. Stop. Stop it. All right. Well, let's see here. 40. What else do we need to cover? We have prepared as much as we, without knowing everything, what we based ourselves on prepared our resources. Apparently, these, I don't know the button. Dude. A lot of this stuff is going to be subpar now. Augmentations are going to change a lot of things. So we just kind of have to see what it's going to end up being. It doesn't change for me because, I wasn't using these before, not using them now. So, don't know. Augmentations are basically small ways that you can make your equipment, your gear, a little bit better. That is honestly the one thing that's kind of concerning me more than any of the other changes. You're not getting any. You clawed me earlier, and you're acting like a butthole. Yeah, not getting a chicken nugget. That is the thing that concerns me the most, is the augmentations. Once again, because Jackrabbit can't get off of it, we're going to make a reference to Destiny. One thing that Bungie was horrible at doing was making slight changes. They would make the tiniest little change and it would destroy so many things. They could take a gun that was awesome and turn it into utter crap with just a tiny little update patch. They could completely decimate metas. I don't necessarily like metas. I like using what works for me, but I understand the concept of meta weapons. They're good for a reason. That's why everyone uses them. But they could destroy a meta overnight and completely rewrite it just by claiming to make a tiny little change. Another thing they could do is they could make a slight change to a weapon. Just be like, well, it used to do this, and now we're going to tone that down, and somehow that would have a cascade effect and devastate all sorts of other aspects of the game. It was almost like it was just a crapshoot, just a coin flip to see whether or not the new update worked or didn't. Um, the reason augments scare me is because they say that the concept here is to basically, if I go out with my Regis rapier and I fight somebody else with a Regis rapier, it just depends on, luck and skill and taking advantage of the moment, which is what fighting should be. But if I'm going to invest in a weapon to make it better, then I should get some benefits for having it be better, which is what the augments are supposed to do. What scares me about it is I hope that this doesn't eliminate options for other people for doing things. What I mean by that is once you augment this specific way, this house sword or this sword is better than any other melee weapon, so then everyone's running around with swords. Um, I don't I don't like PvP now when you go out into the deep desert, because if you go out there and you're going to go on hand, like, on foot, you're probably going to get either lasgunned or you're going to get ancient wade. So somebody's either shooting a rocket at you or they're hitting with the lasgun. Why? Because those are the things that work the best. I would hate to see this game come down to where there's only 3 different weapons that everyone's using because they outshine each other in, with no questions asked. That's 3 times as strong and able to scale up. Yeah, it's that's what really scares me. That's what really concerns me about when, as soon as, like when I was thinking about how they said, oh, we're going to open up the lance rad to everybody. I was like, that's a cool idea. And then they were like, oh, and we're going to have specialization skills. I was like, okay, a little concerning, because me as a person who plays solo more and likes to gather resources, I'm kind of on even footing with somebody who really just wants to go out and fight. They'll probably beat me because they're better at it and they're more used to it, but it's them, not the game. A little concerned that if somebody really specializes on combat and does everything combat, is it even possible for me to beat them if I don't? I don't want them to do that, but I really, really just hope that the augments don't eliminate so many other options. I don't think it will, and from what I've seen, I don't think it will. But I've been wrong before. I remember, again, yes, I was there 3,000 years ago. Uh, there was a hand cannon in Destiny called The Last Word, and it was really powerful and it was really awesome. And I was crap with it. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Dennis. If they're grade 5 and you're grade 0, you know, it's created a further divide. But back to The Last Word. It was incredible, and I couldn't use it. So I equipped it, and I went and did regular missions, and I played in just the Crucible, and, you know, I'm using this gun in situations it's not designed for because I wanted to get good with it, and I did. And I was like, heck yeah. And then they nerfed it, and it was one of the worst guns you could ever try to use. And it just disappeared overnight. I mean, you couldn't do a Trials match without somebody having a last word. And then overnight it was just gone. I don't, I would hate to see that. Another game we'll reference, Call of Duty. Um, how many weapons do they have and how many were getting used? We don't have a whole lot of weapon variety in here. I mean, You know, you have a Kinjal and then you have the pulse knife, etc. You know, there's a lot of different types of swords and stuff, but when it all comes down to it, so variety is good, but I just hope augments don't kill variety. I hope they don't drive us to the point where you start seeing you need to be using this thumbnails and everybody's using the same thing. Like the Wingman in Apex Legends. I honestly have not never played Apex Legends, to be honest. Balance in Dune is very difficult. Oh, it's very different to other games, however. I uh I agree. Um I think it's kind of surprising how balanced everything is. And I did enjoy that. I do enjoy that. I just hope they don't ruin it with augments. One thing about my content, you will never see me with a you need to use this now. You need to build this way. I'm never going to do that. Never going to tell you to do that. I may highlight what I'm using and why it works for me, but I'm not going to tell you you need to use it. Everybody's different. Everything's different. So I just hope we don't start seeing those kind of videos. Never say never, man. um, especially with public outcry. If augments don't work out well, or if I'm a believer that if you're playing this game and you go into a PvP section and someone kills you, what did you expect? I mean, you're in a PvP section. Well, I was just there. I don't care why you were just there. It does not matter why you were there. You were there. If you don't want to get killed by another player, don't ever go into PvP. Does that mean every time you step into a PvP zone you're going to get killed? No, but it might happen. And if it does, it's not their fault. They're not assholes. They're not being douchebags. You went there. But like you're saying, Dennis, that yeah, exactly. Anybody telling you it's the best, they have no idea. Um, but like you're saying there, if you're grade 0 and somebody else is grade 5, you got no chance against them. I just wonder what happens when grade 5s face off. And I hope there is some variance. I use the rapier over the sword. I like the faster movement, which is neat because if you don't use the two, you don't realize the difference between them. Um, I hope that augments can continue to do that. I really hope they don't start augmenting things that would make a sword work more like a rapier, rapier more like a sword. Keep them separate. There's a reason they exist, you know? Fully maxed at 200, dude. Wow. I don't know. I think I got like, I don't know how much spice I have. I can go check. I went out and filled the box up and I haven't used it that much. I don't want to talk too much about augments because I literally don't know anything about it. I haven't. I've seen what other people have said and I've seen what Funcom has said, but I kind of reserve my judgment until I do it myself. You know. I don't even know how much that is. I had about 13 or 15, maybe. I don't know. Works for me. Um, but yeah, I will give my concerns, and that's my big concern. Into weaves, yeah. Oh yeah, and you can see how much melange you have if you. Do, do, do. Eventually, we'll get to something. Yeah, 17. Yep, 17. Um. So yeah, it's just I'll express my concerns all day. I'm just terrified that they're going to augment their way into chaos. We'll see. I'm also a firm believer. Again, we'll go back to plastanium chest. Let's see how much of that I have. 5,500. Um, maybe we'll stir up some controversy here. No, I'm not. I was gonna just say something, but I'm gonna make a video about this. I was thinking about this earlier. I want to make a video about this, so I'm not gonna say anything. It's talking about taxes and them getting rid of the taxes. Um, Spoiler alert, I think it was a mistake. I really do. I don't think they should have gotten rid of the taxes. Um, was it a pain in the butt? Yeah. Did it suck? Yeah. Keep it in there, though. But anyway, yeah. A pretty solid amount. Yeah, I do well for myself. So that's what I'm saying as far as chapter 3 going. How do I feel about chapter 3? I think it's going to bring an influx of players. I think a lot of people are going to make their way back. Will they stay? That I don't know. And I'm not even going to hazard a guess on that because this could be the greatest game ever made, in my opinion. Somebody else might hate it. And I won't understand dude, why won't you play this game? It's awesome. And they'll be like, why are you playing this game? It's terrible. I think there's going to be a big influx of players. I think people are going to show up. The first week or two is going to be pretty crazy, and then it's going to start piddling off again as people move on to do some other things or say, it's not really what I want to do. I wish Funcom explained it a little bit better. They do a decent job of getting information out, but it is kind of like if you don't know where to go to look, it may not be completely obvious. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Okay, spoiler, because we're like 2 hours. So, the, my biggest issue with taxes was so many people would say that it was a pain in the butt. I can't take a break. I have to log in to pay my taxes. That's true. You would have to do that. But the issue is there were two problems in that realm: paying your taxes, keeping your base powered. Getting rid of taxes does not solve the base power problem. People still can't take a break. If that's what you guys were wanting to do, and honestly, I don't understand why you would put a whole lot of effort into getting rid of something so people cannot play your game. Why don't you put that effort into doing something that makes people really want to play your game? Because guess what? Logging in once a week to pay your taxes and power your base isn't a problem if the game is so cool that you're logging in 4 or 5 times a week. Even if you're only playing for 30 minutes, you're logging in. You're like, oh man, I got to get into Dune. And when you do that, you'd be like, oh, shoot, I got to go pay my taxes. And then you could do that before you log off or when you first log in. Put the focus on making people want to play your game. And don't do it cheaply. Don't do it like, well, if you don't log in today, you don't get this item. Don't FOMO us. Make it worthwhile. Make it worth going in and playing. And then guess what? Flying to Eric, I go there once a week every time anyway. So I'm either putting stuff up on the market to sell or buying stuff or whatever. Taxes weren't a problem. It was, I don't know. I think that everybody who's complaining about paying the taxes, and if that's how they felt, okay, I get it. I don't understand it, but I'm not criticizing you for feeling that way. But I think all those people are now just going to completely transition into the, you guys have to do something about power in my base because I can't take a break without having to log in to power my base. It's just they're just going to move into that camp. There's already a good amount of people that are saying that. Now everybody that was complaining about taxes is going to jump into that camp now, and that's just going to be the next big huge problem. How can they address that? How can they eliminate that? I don't know. I mean, at some point there's got to be a cost. You got to do it. Put your shit in pocket your base, yeah. I made one of those little miniaturizing things. I never used it, but I did make one. And yeah, you can pocket it. But nobody ever took the time to figure that out, you know? I don't know. I hope it's hard coded. I really do. I was watching another content creator, and he was talking about this game. He was only a couple weeks. I think it was like 12 days ago he made the video. And his biggest gripe was that you can't take a break. I have to log in every 20 days. And I'm my again, I'm not criticizing him for how he feels or what he plays, but I'm like, dude, 20 days ain't that long. I mean, you know, you can take 20 days off of anything. You just got to log in and fill your base up. Yeah, the one make flower sand free again. uh, I did the video on flower sand in the deep desert, which is still valid. I mean, I'm not going to the deep desert just to get flower sand, but when I'm out there, flower sand out in the deep desert is actually pretty cool because you have less worm aggro. You can get more. I would love to see the sand crawler be able to pull it, but then it's just going to be too much. But I had people telling me that I just need to explore the map because there's still some safe spots, and I'm like, don't say that. The last time we talked about the safe spots, they took them away. There are no more safe spots. They're all gone. They did an incredible job of getting rid of all the safe spots to get flower sand. Enough said. All right, guys, Bo, we're almost at the 2 hour mark. What the hell was that? Nothing popped up on the screen. I don't even know what that sound. I don't remember hearing that ever. Oh, that looks creepy. That wasn't what made the noise, but okay. So that's a brave statement, Dennis. It's say anyone that complains about powering your base in a survival game with only the powering your base and the water consumption being the only two survival elements out of storms shouldn't play. Shouldn't play Dune. I mean, why are you playing a survival game if you want all the survival aspects removed? I don't know. Oh, I'm super excited about this. I can't take credit for it, but I was watching somebody else. They did a dev interview and they talked about the potential of an arena style fight, and that is awesome. Accurate to the lore, a great place for people who love testing each other, testing themselves against other players. Because, face it, NPCs are garbage. Unless there's a bunch of them, they're not gonna get you. But yeah, they said that they have thought about it. They don't have a definitive thing yet, as far as doing it. Um, the 2 hour mark, Dennis, it's usually do 2 hours. So I start at 6, usually done by 8. That gives me a chance to finish up what I got to do and then go to bed because I got work in the morning. I actually have to go to town tomorrow morning, which it's like an hour before work. So, mm. But yeah, so they are potentially doing arena fighting, which I think would be great if they could turn that into a tournament style. Even if it ends up being something that like you reset once a month or every week, whatever. But just an arena. Um, you think about whether you're a fan of the books or movies. They did the new movies with Timothy Chalamet, um, the Villeneuve ones. They did pretty well with the lore from the books. I mean, there's liberties taken. It's almost always going to happen, but the fact that they've highlighted the the Paul Jameis fight and um, the Paul Fade, this that was it was personal combat. It meant something. I'd love to see that come. That'd be great. But yeah. All right. So I got chicken nuggets to eat. I got some stuff to finish up. But overall, we did pretty well. I've got plenty of materials. I think we're ready to roll, and we're just gonna wait to see. I thought about taking off, but I got too much stuff going on at work, so I've got to do it. I thought about not streaming tonight and then just streaming tomorrow, but my concerns with that is number one, I don't know what I'm doing because it's going to go live tomorrow, and I don't want to give people the wrong advice or make mistakes myself. So tomorrow when I log in, we're pretty much not going to get much done at all. I'm going to do the stuff I have to, like the missions that are, you can do them once a day type things. Um, and we are going to start on the sabotage and then do combat and research or crafting. And we're going to actually just take some time, and I'm going to sit back, scan the stuff, get the best handle I can, compare what other people are saying and seeing, and then on Wednesday we'll be back up, hopefully with a good idea and a good plan, and I'll be more than happy to share that with you. But yeah, so we're going to call it here. I'm going to grab these nuggies. Hopefully I can get them before the cat does. But appreciate everybody in. Chopper, Dennis, Jiggy. Oh, where's the Canadian guy? Ayo. Ayo. Flower sand free again. That's. Should get some merch made with that on there. But thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. And I guess I will see you on the other side of chapter 3. Jiggy, are you still on? I don't know if you're on there or not. There is a delay, so you may not hear it too much. Let's actually talk to you. Oh. Jesus. Oh, you popped off for a quick dinner. No. I was wondering. I was worried about you, my friend. Did you reach level 5 with Atreides? Because somebody, and again, this is pre stuff. They had mentioned that one of the things you should do is you should make sure that you are level 5 with a faction and you've completed the quest stuff. I don't know. I know you had that the one issue in your journeys that I think it was Assassin's Handbook, wasn't it? But I don't know if you got that done or not. I hope that doesn't affect what you can do and what you can't do. You are level 5? Okay, great. Now I'll sleep well tonight. So I'm kidding. I mean, I'll sleep just fine. I won't. I don't sleep well at all because I'm me. I was a little worried about it. Not enough to, well, I mean, enough to bring it up on stream. So there you go, buddy. I'm looking out for you. I try. All right, folks. I'm going to call it a night here. I'm going to eat my chicken nuggets, go get yelled at by Mrs. Rabbit, and we'll be waiting to go. Spend the day tomorrow trying to make heads and tails of it. And then I will see everybody back on Wednesday. Give you some opinions. We'll take a look at where I'm at. By all means, share where you're at. But I will see you guys on Wednesday. So as always, I will see you out there. Take care, guys.